Hi guys, I'm Callie,
And I'm Cole.
and welcome to Doodie Calls.
Episode 1.
Of many, hopefully.
Alright. What are we doing here?
Well, basically what we're going to try to do is get as much information out as possible that we can, hopefully make it interesting.
Yes.
Have you guys meet us, meet our team, learn why we do what we do, pretty
And
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really hoping to bring a lot of value to everybody. Everybody that's watching. We get a lot of calls with questions, both on the septic side and on the portable restroom side, both kind of service types that we offer. So we get a lot of questions, hopefully be able to answer them, tell some interesting, stories about us, about the industry. Just really kind of a variety show. We'll have primary topics. We might branch off. I tend to ramble a
but
little
it's
bit,
fine.
but we'll see where it goes. So, really just hopefully provide a lot of value. So,
Well, what do you do here?
Operator, I cause problems and you fix them.
Okay.
That was what
That's
we said.
fair. That's fair.
So, I little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. I started out when we started 5 years ago. Started out in a truck servicing portable restrooms. I kind of transitioned into pumping septic tanks and trying to learn a lot about septic systems and that kind of stuff. And then we got into installs, and I was in an excavator for a couple years. And now I do a little bit of everything. It just kind of depends on what the workload is that day, what's going on. I would say I'm primarily on install sites if I'm out in the field. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, install, repair sites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well,
what do you do here?
What do I do here? Not a thing. So basically what you see, I do a lot of the marketing, so any of the videos, the animations that we put out there, I do a little bit of accounting, mostly office admin stuff, but the video creation, animations, that's definitely my favorite part of the job. But yeah, basically just office, admin, fun stuff like that.
Okay. Well, while she sells herself short, she kind of runs the show here, actually. So she's my boss and just about everybody else's. So, anyways, how often are we going to do this?
Well, I'm hoping to get them out once a week. I'm hoping on Fridays. I don't
Okay.
have a specific time set yet, but once a week on Fridays is what we're shooting for.
Yeah, at least. I think we could possibly do it a little bit more frequently. It's just going to kind of depend on...
Get a feel for things.
Workload this
Yeah.
week with Thanksgiving in 2 days or tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, by the time this goes up tomorrow.
Yeah, so with Thanksgiving, we're gonna try and film one over the holiday weekend to get next week out, and then we might. Yeah, it's just gonna kind of depend, but at least once a week is our goal. So, anyways, so you started here 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
I think it's been 3 years. 3 years now?
Okay.
Yeah.
So she took over for me. I was answering the phone in a truck, running excavators.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of a brief history on us and the company. So we bought Fuller Septic Tank Service 5 years ago in September 2016. Took over, like I said, kind of started out in a truck. I was running a portable restroom route. Then I kind of transitioned septic and then installs. And during that whole time, I was trying to answer the phone, do all the book work and paperwork and everything that's associated with the jobs. I was not getting any sleep at all.
He wasn't stressed at all.
Not at all.
No.
And I loved it. Honestly, I loved it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But she was seeing that I was kind of struggling a little bit, and so she decided to come in, and she kind of took over answering the phone. She started out doing all the office admin work and everything that I wasn't keeping up on, and so she helped out a lot on that. Now we've got Taryn that also answers the phone for us. But yeah, we started out with about 100 restroom units, I'd say, in total. We've grown to 350 total units in inventory now. We service all of north central Kansas. We go north to Concordia, Belleville area. We go, Beloit, Ellsworth, Wilson, Russell-ish area. Go into Great Bend, Hutchinson, McPherson, Moundridge, Newton. Go southeast over to Marion, Hillsboro, Harrington, Abilene, Chapman, and everywhere in between.
Well, with that, I'll put a map up on the screen for you guys so you can visualize it and kind of see what he's talking about a little bit better.
And we do just about everything with portable sanitation, so portable restrooms, hand washing stations, holding tanks. Just about everything on the portable sanitation side. We also are full service on septic systems, so we pump systems. We can do inspections on systems, or at least coordinate inspections on systems. We also repair, maintain, and install septic systems. So, yeah, pretty much full service in north central Kansas. Started 5 years ago. Am I missing something?
Nope, just really getting started.
Okay. Yep. So, right out of high school for me. I will say that this was not exactly what I had imagined that I was going to be doing, but I would not trade it for the world, so I've had a blast. So,
well,
what are we doing?
Well, to get the ball rolling, we're going to start with some frequently asked questions that both Taryn and I get in the office. Frequently. You got them as well when you were taking care of the phone. So I guess to get started, how much or how often should you get your tank pumped?
It's generally recommended to have your system serviced every 3 to 5 years. There's other maintenance that should be done maybe more frequently depending on the system that you have, but as far as pumping, it's usually every 3 to 5 years. Now that comes from a scientific calculation, where your septic tank itself, what's getting pumped, has a total liquid capacity. Usually it starts at 1,000 gallons. It'll go up to 2,000 or even more gallons. Typically in 500-gallon increments. We got 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 is the most common size for residential work. Commercial stuff can get a lot bigger than that, but for residential purposes, most households still around here have 1,000-gallon tanks. And so the total volume capacity in that tank is going to be 1,000 gallons. And the idea is that you don't want the solids in the tank, the solids in the wastewater, to accumulate to more than 25 to 33% of the total tank's capacity. So if you've got a 1,000-gallon tank, you don't want more than 250 to 330 gallons of that being solids. As you use the system, you're introducing solids into the system. The tank's purpose is really to act as a filter between the wastewater that's generated from the household or the building, between that and the drain field. The drain field, or the absorption field, that's the component that actually treats the wastewater, and the tank really is kind of that filter in between it. It keeps the solids out of the soil. The soil does the treatment, but it doesn't really break down or decompose of the solids. And so for most households, that 25 to 33% capacity range is reached in 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Taryn and I both get this question a lot, or maybe it's not really a question, but our customers haven't pumped their tank in 17 years, 50 years, however long it may be.
Yeah.
How could we express the importance of regularly maintaining their system?
So sometimes we get those calls, I know, because I hear some of them, or I answered some of them. Sometimes we get those calls because they're having problems with the system, and sometimes it's because maybe they were thinking about it, or they're selling their house, or they're concerned in some fashion. They're maybe not having issues with the system, but they're concerned in some fashion as to what's going on. And really, it kind of goes back to that tank being a filter. And the tank total capacity, it has a maximum amount that it can filter in terms of the solids in the wastewater. And if you're putting more solids in the tank from the wastewater, if you're putting more solids in the tank than that 25 to 33% capacity, you run the risk of those solids being suspended still in the tank because you're decreasing the total liquid volume in the tank as you introduce solids. So if you have a 1,000-gallon tank and 250 gallons, the 25% is solids, then you actually are only operating on a 750-gallon tank or of total liquid capacity.
Okay.
And so as you put more solids in the tank, you decrease the total liquid level, or total liquid capacity, excuse me. And what can happen is you can push those solids out into the drain field, the absorption field. And the soil is not designed to break down the solids. It's designed to treat and absorb the wastewater, but not the solids in the wastewater. And so for those that have went, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, however long it may be, if they've exceeded that capacity in the tank, then they're running the risk of pushing those solids into the drain field, and the soil at some point will stop absorbing or breaking down or treating the wastewater because it's been filled up with solids. And at that point, there's some remedies that we can take to repair the system, but sometimes they are irreparable. And it's really, you're looking at a new field or at least an addition to the existing field, and that's when things can kind of go awry.
Okay. Well, to switch things up a little bit, let's steer towards the portable restroom side.
Okay.
We get asked a lot as well. How many units do we need?
For a construction site or for an event?
Let's start event.
Event. Okay. So small events, we'll say weddings, kind of backyard parties, auctions, school events, things like that. We recommend, generally speaking, 1 unit per 50 people per 4 hours. And that's based on Portable Sanitation Association International's recommendations for events. The units themselves have a total usage capacity, total number of people or number of uses that they can accommodate. And so, that 1 unit per 50 people per 4 hours, kind of as a baseline, assuming all things equal, that's kind of where we start.
Okay. How about a construction site? What would you recommend as a rule of thumb?
For construction sites, it's 1 unit per 10 people per 40 hours. So if you have, 5 or 6 people working on a construction site, a standard 40-hour work week, that the unit's getting serviced once a week, 1 unit would be sufficient. If you have 12 to 15 people, you can still stick with 1 unit. We would recommend increasing to twice a week service on the unit for 12 to 15 people. Over 15 people, you'd really need 2 units regardless of the service frequency.
Okay.
So,
All right.
anything else?
Well, we can talk about what we've got coming up.
Okay.
We're gonna.
I've got a lot of ideas. I don't know if you know that.
Oh no,
I
not
share them
at all.
frequently with
well,
you.
go
so.
ahead. What do you have? What are some of your ideas?
Oh, okay. So there's this really interesting story from the 60s that it's an American icon, but it's also has to do with our industry on the portable restroom side. I want to do a little bit more research on it, but it was really interesting to me as an operator in the industry. So I hope to be able to learn a little bit about the industry and kind of talk about it, or not the industry, the event, and talk about it, and kind of share some things that happened then that we as operators try and prevent. Also, the progression, because this was back in like the 60s or something. So the progression in the industry and in the events and everything that go on. So that's one of them. What else have we talked about?
We're going to talk about the importance of having a restroom at your event or on your construction site.
Yep. The benefits, because there are benefits that it provides other than just simply having a place to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So.
We'll talk about how your septic system works, more on the maintaining your septic system side, the types of systems. There's multiple sizes of systems. In the next few videos, we'll have some special guests. So we're really excited for that.
Yeah, I got clearance on one. or the go ahead on one. So
You'll meet our team, like we mentioned earlier. So
we're just really hoping to, kind of talk about a lot of the topics that we run into that maybe not everybody knows. Share some of that information, just really share value with everybody. So this one was a short and sweet one, kind of a teaser. But
I mean, at the end of the day, we just want to help you guys out, answer any questions that you guys might have, but and hopefully, again, make it interesting.
Yes, absolutely. So,
well, with that being said, we'll see you guys on Friday.
Where can people find us?
Oh, I'm just kidding. So you can find us on YouTube. We'll be on Facebook, and we'll have some clips or highlights or whatever you want to call them on
Bloopers.
Instagram.
I make a lot of bloopers.
We'll have some bloopers as well that we'll get out there.
So, and then on Fridays, except for this one's going to be Wednesday. Right before Thanksgiving.
Okay. And then from then on out, we'll see you guys every Friday.
At least. Cool. So
Well,
thanks for tuning in.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it. So this was our first video, so take it easy on us. We'll hopefully get better as things go on. So.
And by the time you see this, happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.